Well, a very good morning to you. Another beautiful day. Glorious spring weather here. Right, a lot of you who are growing along will remember that I popped my dahlia tubers into the ground around 4 or 5 weeks ago, and bang on schedule, some of them have woken up. Now, if you remember, I did tell you, and I was quite disciplined about this, do not, if you have a dahlia tuber that hasn't woken up, please do not get in there and poke around with it. Do not start ferreting about, do not start digging it up and having a look. Do not be tempted to disturb it at this stage. Not all tubers will wake up at the same rate. They all flower at slightly different times and need slightly different weather conditions to bring them on. So ones like this particular tuber, you can see, produce some really lovely eyes and woken up and is away quite happily. Others like this one are leading a little more tardy, a little bit like myself, a little bit slow to get moving in the morning. Lots of things distracting this tuber. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to have a look along the bottom of the pot, and actually there we go. Look, that's the first time I've looked at there. You can see this tuber is most definitely awake. There is a root here emerging from the bottom of the pot, meaning that this particular tuber is actually rooted before it set its own eyes. I'm going to pop this one to one side, but any tubers at this stage that don't have root growth coming from the bottom of their pots, I'm now going to move from their cold position in the greenhouse, and I'm going to pop them onto the heat mat. Try not to use the heat mat very much because it's very expensive to run. They're going to go up onto the shelf, onto a large plastic tray. They're going to go onto the heat mat with a cloche over them. I'm going to spend a week or 10 days just forcing a little bit of extra heat into them to force them through and make them up quicker. So if you have a dahlia tuber that hasn't yet produced roots at the bottom and is not showing any signs of life at the top, no eyes being produced, no green growth showing at the moment, do consider getting it into a warmer position. Either bring that into the house now, one of the few things I'm going to recommend you do when you bring things into the house, or you get it onto a heat mat and just force a little bit of heat onto it. Don't forget that as you're putting heat onto it, because it's obviously going to be warmed from the base, you need to pay special attention to your watering. It's going to need an extra little bit of water to make sure it doesn't dry out and bake dry. So this one is not going to go onto the heat mat, but any that aren't waking up at the moment, I think I've got 6 or 7 that are at the stage of this one here, where they're showing nice green eyes, obviously protected with their horticultural grit. This one is a new one for me. This one this morning I didn't think had woken up, but you can see it's producing nice root growth from the bottom. So that probably leaves about 3 or maybe 4 from the new ones that I've planted this year that are going to go up onto the heat mat and get a little bit of heat forced into them. Hopefully that will wake them up by about the middle part of April, and will be growing away, ready to bed out around my birthday, which is about the 20th of May. Anyway, I hope you found that the quick chat about dahlias helpful. If you need any help, don't hesitate to ask. I'll see you soon. Take care now. Bye bye.